Welcome back, everyone. Have you ever stopped and thought, maybe, just maybe, even if the millions aren't quite there yet, do you already think like a millionaire? It's a really interesting question, right? And that's exactly what we're diving into today, our mission, to unpack how you can adopt that millionaire mindset before the bank balance reflects it. We're going to look at habits, mistakes to avoid, and really how to make that fundamental mental shift. Because the core idea we found is, well, before you earn wealth, you've got to learn to think wealthy. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here, especially drawing from insights like those in the Millionaire Mindset, think wealthy, live wealthy, is how it really breaks down this mental shift. It's less about, luck or where you started and much more about a deliberate way of thinking you can actually learn.
Exactly. And one of the first sort of core ideas that jumped out is this powerful question millionaires keep asking. It sounds simple, but it's huge. They ask, how can I? Now, think about the opposite, what the source calls a poor mindset, or maybe a scarcity mindset. That often starts with, I can't do this. Like, imagine wanting to start a business, but you have zero money. The immediate thought might be, nope, impossible.
Right, just shut down the idea immediately.
But the millionaire mindset flips it. It asks, okay, how can I make this possible? Could I find an investor? Maybe start really small, for free. It changes everything.
It really does. That simple change of question just opens up possibilities, doesn't it? It moves you from feeling stuck to actively looking for solutions. It's not just about being positive. It's about actively problem solving, training your brain to find a way. Changing the question can literally change your life's direction.
And that proactive thinking often leads to looking further ahead. Which brings us to the next point. Millionaires play the long game. Here's where it gets really interesting. Lots of people are understandably focused on today's salary, today's bills, very immediate concerns.
Which makes sense day to day.
But the wealthy mindset is asking, okay, what will my net worth look like in, say, 5 years, 10 years? They're projecting forward. And this means making sacrifices now for success later. The example given was pretty stark. Choosing to spend your evening learning a valuable skill instead of, binge watching Netflix.
Yeah. That hits home.
Yeah, it's a conscious trade-off. Comfort now versus growth later. It definitely made me reconsider a few evenings.
And it's strategic, too. It's not just about delaying fun. The material points out, they ask, will this expense or this time spent actually give me a return? So learning that skill isn't just avoiding TV, it's an investment in future earning potential. They see everything through that lens: time, money, energy. What's the long-term ROI?
That strategic view absolutely applies to money itself. Our sources highlight this key difference. Many focus just on saving money, keeping it safe.
Which is important, obviously. Safety matters.
But the wealthy focus is different. It's about multiplying money, making it grow. They literally treat every dollar like an employee, asking, how can this money work for me? Not just sit there.
Yeah, make it productive.
So the example was like putting $5,000 in a fixed deposit might give you, 5%? Okay. But investing that same sure $5,000 in a course to learn a high-income skill, or maybe seed funding a small side business.
Yeah.
That could potentially give you 10x returns, maybe even more.
That's the crucial distinction, isn't it? Saving is safe. Investing, when done smartly, is how you actually build wealth. What's fascinating here is that shift from just preservation to active multiplication. It requires a different level of financial literacy and maybe risk tolerance, too.
Definitely. And speaking of valuable assets, when you look at what millionaires truly prioritize, it often isn't money. It's time. Time is seen as far more valuable.
Absolute fundamental.
The logic is simple, really.
Yeah.
You can always figure out ways to earn more money. But time, once it's gone forever. You can't get it back.
Not a single second.
So they guard their time fiercely. They try to avoid wasting it, hours mindlessly scrolling social media, for example. Instead, that time is channeled into learning, planning, building something. It's a finite resource they invest very carefully.
This raises an important question for you listening. How much is your time worth? And are you spending it on things that align with that value? It implies a need to delegate or automate or just stop doing things that don't yield a high return on your time. It forces a real audit of your day.
And they don't do this building in a vacuum. The sources are very clear. Nobody becomes a millionaire alone. It's just not how it works.
Very true. It's a team sport in many ways.
Right. So the rich mindset deeply values people, relationships, mentors. They actively look for people who've done what they want to do. They build strong networks. And importantly, they focus on adding value to others in that network.
It's reciprocal.
Exactly. Because those connections, those relationships, they open doors to opportunities you just wouldn't find otherwise. It's like social capital is just as important as financial capital.
And that connects to a broader idea of wealth, doesn't it? It's not just the bank balance, it's your network, your knowledge, your reputation. These are all forms of wealth that fuel each other.
Building on that idea of connection and opportunity, millionaires also approach risk differently. They don't seem paralyzed by fear.
How so?
Well, instead of focusing only on the risk, they focus on the possibilities within a deal or an opportunity. So the scarcity mindset might ask, oh no, what if I fail? It's driven by fear of loss.
Understandable, but limiting.
Whereas the millionaire mindset, according to our sources, flips it. It asks, okay, but what if this succeeds? What's the potential upside? And even if it doesn't work out perfectly, what can I learn?
Seeing failure as feedback.
Precisely. They analyze the risk, sure, they try to mitigate it, but then they focus on the potential gain. And if they stumble, they learn, adjust, and try again. It's about resilience.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's really about being proactive, isn't it? Seeking opportunities rather than just reacting to threats. It's an approach driven by possibility, not paralysis.
Absolutely. And underpinning all of this, the thread that ties it all together is discipline. Daily discipline and strong habits.
The foundation.
Yes. The material is emphatic about this. A millionaire's mind wins through consistency. And it gives concrete examples, things like waking up early, making time for reading every day, setting really clear goals, tracking their finances meticulously, planning their day. These aren't glamorous, maybe, but they're powerful.
The small things done consistently.
Exactly. The core message is blunt. Without discipline, no dream gets built. Your journey to thinking like a millionaire and eventually becoming one starts with your daily routine, how you structure your day.
It highlights how these seemingly small, consistent actions compound over time. It's the aggregation of these disciplined choices that leads to significant transformation, both in mindset and eventually in results.
So let's circle back to that profound idea from the source material we've been exploring today. First, you become a millionaire in your mind. The external reality follows the internal shift.
Which leads to a final thought for you listening right now. Having heard all this, which one specific habit or maybe which mindset shift we discussed? Which one will you consciously start implementing today? What's the first concrete step you'll take on this journey? Because it does start with a single step.
Change your thinking and you absolutely can change your life.